Hello students, in the previous classes we have already discussed the general features of the vertebrae and the specific features of the cervical vertebrae. Today we will discuss about the specific features of the thoracic vertebrae and the other vertebrae. Students, just like the cervical vertebrae, the thoracic vertebrae are also categorized into typical thoracic vertebrae and atypical thoracic vertebrae. The atypical thoracic vertebrae are first, ninth, 10th, 11th and 12th thoracic vertebrae, and the rest of the thoracic vertebrae, that is second to ninth thoracic vertebrae, are typical thoracic vertebrae. You all know that the all the 12 thoracic vertebrae are characterized by the articulation with the 12 ribs. So all the thoracic vertebrae are characterized by the presence of the costal facets on the both sides of the vertebral bodies. These costal facets, which provide the space for the articulation with the ribs, these costal facets may be either one in number or two in number at each body of the thoracic vertebrae. Usually there are two costal facets on the sides of the thoracic vertebrae, but in some thoracic vertebrae there is only one single costal facet on each side of the thoracic vertebral body. So what are the distinguishing features of the typical thoracic vertebrae? A typical thoracic vertebrae has a heart-shaped body. The body of the typical thoracic vertebrae is heart-shaped. In this diagram, you can see this is the body of the typical thoracic vertebrae. This is heart-shaped, and the uh, foramen vertebral foramen of the thoracic vertebrae is nearly circular, whereas you have seen in the cervical vertebrae, typical cervical vertebrae, this body was quadrangular in shape, while the foramen is of the shape of a triangular. But unlike to the cervical vertebrae, in thoracic vertebrae, the body is heart-shaped, while the foramen is of nearly circular. So in this diagram, you can see this is a diagram of the typical thoracic vertebrae from the above view, and this is the lateral view of the typical thoracic vertebrae. In this view, you can see that there are two facets, costal facets on each side of the body of the thoracic cervical vertebrae. This is the upper facet, superior costal facet. This is the inferior costal facet. These costal facets are called as the demifacets. Demifacet, this superior costal demifacet, this is the inferior costal demifacet. This superior costal demifacet is larger than the inferior costal demifacet, and this superior costal demifacet articulates with the head of the corresponding rib, while the lower or inferior costal demifacet articulates with the head of the rib, which is below. Means if it is the suppose this is the fifth thoracic vertebrae, then this superior demifacet articulates with the fifth rib, while this lower demifacet articulates with the sixth rib. And you can see that the superior demifacet lies near the upper border of the vertebral body, while the inferior lower demifacet lies at the uh, inferior border of the inferior border of the body of the thoracic vertebrae. Besides the articulation, besides the costal facets on the body, there is also a facet on the transverse process of the thoracic vertebrae. This costal facet articulates with the tubercle of the rib, not with the head of the rib. These two facets, superior and inferior costal facet, articulates with the head of the rib, while this facet which lies on the transverse process of the thoracic vertebrae, this facet articulates with the tubercle of the corresponding rib. Means if it is fifth cervical, if it is fifth thoracic vertebrae, then this facet articulates with the tubercle of the fifth rib. So these are the distinguishing features of a typical thoracic vertebrae with the other typical vertebrae. Rest of the features are similar to the features of a typical vertebrae. Now, what are the features of the atypical thoracic vertebrae? As I have told earlier that the first, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th are the atypical thoracic vertebrae. So what are the features of the atypical thoracic vertebrae? First comes the first thoracic vertebrae. The body of the first thoracic vertebrae, uh, it resembles like the cervical vertebrae. Means the body is not heart shaped as like the other typical vertebrae. The body is nearly quadrangular in shape, and the superior facet on the body is complete. It's not demifacet in the first thoracic vertebrae. It is the superior costal facet is complete, and it articulates with the head of the first rib. And the inferior costal facet is a demifacet for the second rib. So the superior costal facet is complete, unlike the other typical vertebrae where there is demifacet. Superior facet is demifacet, but in first thoracic vertebrae the superior facet, costal facet, is complete, and the inferior costal facet is demifacet for the second rib. Now the ninth thoracic vertebrae, it resembles a typical thoracic vertebrae, but the difference is that the body has only the superior costal demifacet. The inferior costal demifacet are absent. Why the inferior costal demifacet are absent? Because as you all know that inferior costal demifacet provides the articulation with the lower rib. So, but the 10th rib, which is atypical rib, it articulates with the 10th vertebrae, 10th thoracic vertebrae only, because the 10th rib has only single facet on its head which articulates with the 10th thoracic vertebrae. The 10th rib do not articulate with the 9th vertebrae. That's why the 9th thoracic vertebrae articulates only with the 9th rib. The 10th rib do not articulate with the 9th vertebrae. That's why the 9th thoracic vertebrae has only single facet, the superior costal demifacet. The inferior costal demifacets are absent in the 9th thoracic vertebrae. Similarly, the 10th thoracic vertebrae also resembles the typical thoracic vertebrae, except that the body has a single superior costal facet on each side. It do not have the inferior costal facet, but the superior costal facet is complete. It is not demifacet. In 9th thoracic vertebrae, I have told that it is a single superior costal facet which is demifacet, but in 10th thoracic vertebrae it is complete superior costal facet. Okay, then in 11th thoracic vertebrae the body has a single large costal facet on each side, and the transverse process is small, and the transverse process has no articular facet for the rib, because you already know that the 11th and 12th rib do not have the tubercles. So if they don't have the tubercles cannot articulate with the transverse process. That's why the 11th thoracic vertebrae and 12th thoracic vertebrae do not have articular facet on the transverse process. That's why the 11th and 12th thoracic vertebrae are devoid of the uh, articular facet for the rib. Okay, the 12th thoracic vertebrae has a distinguishing feature in the shape of their body. The shape of the body is more similar to the body of the lumbar vertebrae. Okay, and the body uh, contains the facet, single facet, which articulates with the 12th rib. So the body is similar to the vertebrae of the lumbar region, but it has single costal facet which articulates with the 12th rib. So in brief, you should remember that the 10th rib, 11th rib and 12th rib, these three ribs articulate with the corresponding vertebrae. That's why the 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th thoracic vertebrae has only one costal facet. Now comes the lumbar vertebrae. You all know that there are 5 lumbar vertebrae, and out of these 5, the first 4 are the typical lumbar vertebrae and the 5th one is the atypical lumbar vertebrae. You can identify the lumbar vertebrae by their size of the body. The size of the body of the lumbar vertebrae is quite large and wider in comparison to the other vertebrae. The size of the vertebral body of the thoracic vertebrae is very large. And the foramen, the vertebral foramen is triangular in shape, but it is smaller than the cervical vertebrae. The cervical vertebrae foramen is also triangular and its vertebral foramen is also triangular, but the size is smaller than the cervical vertebrae and the body is wider. Unlike to the thoracic vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae also divide of the uh, costal facets similar to the cervical vertebrae. The transverse process of the thoracic vertebrae are generally thin and long, but there is exception in the 5th lumbar vertebrae. The 5th lumbar vertebrae has the thick transverse process and it is short and pyramidal in shape. The transverse process of the 5th lumbar vertebrae provides attachment to the iliolumbar ligaments to connect the transverse process to the hip bones or pelvic bones. That's why the 5th lumbar vertebrae is called as the atypical vertebrae due to its distinguishing features of the transverse process. Students, you all know that the vertebral canal contains the spinal cord and its meninges. The part of the vertebral canal which is formed by the first and second lumbar vertebrae, it contains the conus medullaris of the spinal cord, while the part which is formed by the lower 3 vertebrae, that is the 3rd, 4th and 5th lumbar vertebrae, it contains the quada equina. And the canal of all the lumbar vertebrae contains the meninges. So students, this is all about the features of the thoracic and lumbar vertebrae. Hope this lecture will be beneficial to you all. If you have any doubt, you are free to ask me through WhatsApp or email. Thank you.